With the invention of the telegraph, the telephone, the radio, the world began to shrink. With the establishment of a transcontinental railroad, it became possible to cross the United States in 10 days or under. Less than 100 years later, newer, more powerful, swifter locomotives had pulled the coasts of America tighter together until they were a little less than 5 days apart. Overhead commercial passenger planes overtook the locomotives, reducing the irreducible minimum to 20 hours of flying time, and then to 9 hours. And within 10 years, that was cut in half again, so that it became possible to travel from any point in the United States to any other point in less than a day, including Hawaii and Alaska. And all this affected life in the United States visibly and invisibly, in small ways and in great, affecting the life of the nation and the lives of the individuals of whom a nation is composed. Among those affected by the increasing effectiveness of transportation and communication were Franklin and Knox Maquon, brothers. The crime, for which the Maquons have been apprehended in Los Angeles, California, was murder committed during a robbery which took place less than 24 hours ago, 2,600 miles away in the city of New York. Within an hour, the police of New York City will be notified of their capture, and steps will be taken to secure their return.
Adam, I'm giving you a couple of minutes to visit with Libby. And then I want to talk to you alone.
Oh, would you take care of the tickets, Mike?
Sure.
Oh, there's Busti.
Hey, Adam.
Hiya, Vince. Be with you in a minute.
Hi, Frank.
Hello, Vince.
Hey.
Hi, Mike. Busti. Hon, this is Mike Parker and Frank O'Carroll. There was Adam Flint who's going with me and his girl. This is my wife, Evie. And this is Nikki. Shake hands, Nikki.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi.
Good to see you.
How are you, Sonny?
I hate goodbyes.
Goodbyes. I'm only going to be gone for 24 hours.
Well, yeah. 24 hours is a day. It's a day that I won't see you.
I'll be calling you tonight.
You're checking up?
What do you think?
Well, who checks the checkers?
Oh, that's a good question. Maybe you should get yourself a good detective.
You know a good one?
Yes, I do. Oh, unfortunately, he's leaving town right now.
You see?
What?
I love you.
I love you.
I wasn't gonna cry. No. Listen. And don't make fun of what I'm gonna say, okay?
Okay.
It doesn't have to be 24 hours or 24 minutes. I miss you. You know, it's more than just missing you. It's just like cutting off a piece of myself and sending it away. I'm sorry.
You all right?
You got those signed checks I left you?
I've got them, but I won't need them.
You don't know what comes up. Listen, make sure that door's locked before you go to sleep.
You're such a crank about locked doors.
What do you want? I'm a worrier.
Meet you at the limousine ramp.
Yeah, Mike.
See ya. Bye,
Thanks,
Nicky.
Frank.
Bye.
You be good now, huh?
Will you bring me a present?
I'll bring you a present. If your mother gives me a good report when I come home, you'll get it. If not, I'll put it in the closet.
I'll be good.
Don't worry.
Madam, here are your tickets.
Thanks, Mike.
Here's the paperwork. Now, Adam, this is your first extradition case. Be on the alert. You'll have a tendency to feel that you're on vacation. You'll want to relax. Don't do it. These two guys that you're bringing back are both murderers. The only thing they've got to look forward to is the electric chair. So watch out. Have a good trip.
Thank you, Mike. Franco? I'll be thinking about you in that warm California sunshine.
I'll be thinking about you, too.
Okay, you'll have 24 hours now to think of something nice.
Well, I'll try.
See that my wife gets your cab all right, will you?
You bet, Vince.
I appreciate it.
Come on, Vince.
Frank.
Be careful.
What is the name of the prisoner you wish to visit, please?
Franklin and Knox make one.
Make ones, huh? Both of them?
That's right.
Your name, please?
Caldwell Wyatt.
Resident of Los Angeles?
Yes.
What is your relationship to the prisoners?
Well, I guess you could call me their mentor. God made them, gave them to their parents. Parents died, they were passed on to me, and I molded them whatever they are now. I'm staff psychologist at the orphan home where they were brought up.
Do you have any identification on you?
The more you keep looking at our faces, the more you're gonna see there's nothing written there.
Face is public record.
Not ours. Any public record we have is in a file case in some police department.
I almost didn't come this time.
Well, it wasn't too much of a risk making this one free phone call to you. There wasn't anybody else we could call. You gonna get us a lawyer, Caldwell?
What have you done?
armed robbery and murder.
They say.
Yeah, that's what they say. In the state of New York.
See, they can't try us in this state. And they have to extradite us before they can try us in New York.
Try us and fry us.
Now, we figure we've got some chance of beating the extradition, if we can get a sharp lawyer.
However, no dough, which usually means no sharp lawyer. Unless we can get you to put up.
Which figures?
Why?
Because you got the gills. Or maybe you ought to have, maybe not, we don't know. Knox and me talked it over lots of times. You had 18 years to turn us into something other than what we are. Personality tests, intelligence tests, all the science in the world. And what good? Here we are.
I don't have the guilts, Frank. I'm just puzzled.
It still makes you out a failure. If you used everything you knew to make us turn out right, and this is all we are, then you're nothing but a phony, Caldwell. You had a license to practice on us, and you goofed.
All the times we talked it over. How come we turned out the way we two are? And finally we came to one conclusion. You never had a chance, Caldwell, because we never listened to you.
Of course, if you're half as good as you make out, you'd have some way of making us listen even if we didn't want to. Isn't that right?
Let him off the hook, Knox.
I never put him on. The question is, can he let himself off?
We got our pride to think about too, Caldwell. Why should we go through life laboring under the shadow of being somebody else's mistake? As far as we're concerned, we're self-made. All the way.
What difference does it make what you two think or what I think? The important thing is the truth. Who did what? That's what I'm looking for. And if I'm the guilty one, well, that's it. I'll have to live with it.
And we'll have to die with it.
I never turned you into murderers. I know that.
Killing is just a matter of good luck or bad. You don't go out to rob and kill, you only go out to rob. If you have bad luck, then killing is thrown in for good measure.
Up to a point. But after the bad luck happens, you're in for it anyway, so you may as well take it in your own hands. Now, what I'm trying to say, Caldwell, we got nothing to look forward to but the electric chair. So if you don't come through and get us a lawyer, we'll do anything we can to get out of it.
Do we make ourselves clear, Caldwell?
Clear enough.
He hasn't got anything written on his face either, has he?
We don't need these.
Petition from the Governor of New York to the Governor of California. Approval from the Governor of California. Indictment by the New York Grand Jury.
Indictment in the name of Franklin Maquon. Indictment in the name of Knox Maquon. Joint indictment, Franklin Knox Maquon, for crimes of murder in the course of armed robbery, first degree.
Clerk? There's a commission to take custody of the prisoners as and if they're turned over by the California court.
Flint and Busti?
Yes, I'm Flint. This is Busti. These are fingerprints and other identifications of the wanted men, list of aliases, complete record of arrests, sentences.
Is there an attorney present to represent Franklin and Knox Maquon, please? Counselor. Smith.
Keswick.
Are you planning to make a formal contest of the extradition proceedings?
I just came on the case this morning. I haven't had a chance to make a determination yet. I was going to ask for a stay.
Yeah, well, the documents are all here. As far as I can see, they're in order. Just a moment. Clerk, have you finished recording those papers yet, please? Thank you. You're welcome to examine them, but I don't think you're going to find anything.
I might petition the governor.
Well, then that's up to the judge. We've got an indictment here on prima facie evidence of 4 witnesses. Case of murder 1, armed robbery, state of New York, city of New York, no possible question of either competence or jurisdiction.
Any record prior open indictment in another state?
Murder in the first would take precedence, anyway.
Not over another charge of homicide in another state.
Flint?
Well, the District Attorney of New York checked that out. As far as we can tell, there's no other indictment pending.
Can I talk to the prisoners? I haven't had a chance yet to even talk to them.
Certainly. Guard, let this attorney talk to his clients, please. Franklin and Knox make one.
Thank you.
Look. We'll see. Clerk. Well, if he's got more nerve than I have, I'd have taken one look at those indictments and given it all up. Well, look, why don't you fellows make yourself comfortable now? Nobody's going to push for speed in a capital punishment case. Thank you.
Hour and a half and we...
This. Better give him a refill.
So then we sat. Hon, I've got no idea. Whenever the judge comes back and they get through the formalities, we might have to sit there all afternoon. How should I know what Los Angeles looks like? I told you. They picked us up in a car at the airport. We went straight to the court. And we've been sitting. The court? It looks like a court in New York. Right this minute, I'm sitting. No, not in a court, in a drugstore. It looks like a drugstore in New York. I'm eating hamburgers for lunch. What are you getting sore about hamburgers for? She's sore because I come to Los Angeles and eat a hamburger in a drugstore. Honey, now that's not a snide remark. Look, I'm not Marco Polo exploring China. Get me off the hook, will you? What's so different about Los Angeles?
Well, you can tell her the second cup of coffee's free.
Is it?
Yeah.
Honey, it's not like a drugstore in New York. The second cup of coffee is free.
All over town.
All over the city. Yeah, it's a full cup. Hon? I miss you. How do you explain a thing like that? I know I only saw you this morning, but I feel very far away. It's like I was looking out the window of the plane and I saw the whole United States rolling out under me. Yeah. It's a big country, honey. I love you too, Evie. Take care of yourself, you hear? Give the kid a kiss. Just as soon as the judge turns him over to us, we'll take him straight to the airport. Of course I want to bring home postcards. Yeah. Be good, huh?
But I was just thinking
What?
how insane this is.
What?
Well, we come to a strange city, we buy postcards. Then we go home, handcuffed to 2 killers. Anything?
This is important to you, I gather.
Yes, I can't tell you why, but it is.
Well, I can try to stall. Maybe I can get us some more time. Go into this thing a little more carefully, check precedents. Maybe I can find something.
Thanks, it would help.
I don't like those 2 young men, Caldwell.
They're not very likable young men.
You know, I had the feeling they were laughing at me. I'd turn to one to ask him a question. The other one would begin to answer. I'd look at him, and the first one would finish the sentence. What do? Rehearse?
They think almost alike, at approximately the same speed.
Oh, it's more than that. You sit there talking to him, and gradually you get the feeling that you're under attack. You can't put your finger on it, but you know you're being torn apart. Under and between and around. And all the sentences between you and them, they're communicating some private joke. The joke is you.
You know, I recall an incident when I was bed checking at the boys' dormitory when they were about, I think, 12. There's a 16-month age difference between the 2 of them. I heard some laughing, and I looked over and saw them looking out the window and laughing at something on the outside. Well, I went over to them, stood behind them, and tried to see what the joke was. Well, there was no moon, it was dark, and there was nothing. The boys looked around at me very quietly, waiting to see if I could be conned into laughing at nothing. Then I realized that the joke wasn't just me. You see, actually, the whole world is a very private, merciless joke to these boys.
I'd laugh too if I were them. They murder and you feel guilty. They treat me with contempt, and I'm going to do everything I can to defend them. Isn't that fun?
Yes.
He's not going to accept it at all. Let's take a look at paragraph D. That's not the way it should be drawn at all.
There'll be no loud talking, no laughter, no smoking. When the judge enters, you'll all rise and face the front of the court.
Looks like action, finally. That's them, I guess.
Description's fit.
All rise and face the front of the court. Presiding judge is the Honorable Hearst Lakewood. Sit down, please.
Franklin, make one. Knox, make one. Stand. Up. Are you represented by counsel here?
Defendants state that they are represented by counsel. Counselor, what's your name?
Oscar Keswick.
This is an extradition proceeding brought by the state of New York to move these two men from the territory and jurisdiction of the state of California and transport them to the territory and jurisdiction of the state of New York. Is that clear to you? Why you're here? Are you going to contest?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I don't see on what grounds.
I'm going to ask for an adjournment, Your Honor, on the grounds that I haven't had sufficient time to properly prepare on behalf of my clients.
What action do you anticipate on their behalf?
I want to look into the possibility of a reappeal of the governor.
I see no reason for that. The governor wouldn't sign the petition without being conversant with its contents. Are you trying to tell me you've got new matter here?
Well, I don't know, Your Honor. You see, I haven't had time to really go into this like
I'll consider the following areas of contest. If you can find that the instruments of these procedures have been drawn in a faulty manner, or if you wish to challenge the jurisdiction of the state of New York, although I think you'd have to stand the law on its head to do that, or if you can show me any possibility that the two men present in this court as Franklin and Knox Maquin are not the same two names on the extradition petition, I would certainly hesitate to turn a person over for a criminal offense of that proportion if I had any idea I was turning over the wrong person. Do you have any ideas of addressing the court on any of those points?
No, sir.
Do you want to challenge the extradition on any other grounds?
All your boys, anytime you want them. It's a lousy position you were put in, Counselor. Good try.
Yes, good try, Counselor.
Colwell, you gonna hang our pictures in the mess hall as a horrible example?
Put your arm up.
It's a long way to New York.
Let's move.
Here now, no formal introduction. What is this?
They get away.
We got the younger one.
The
The other one's the one who shot me.
I know.
They have to be out of their minds to try something like that.
Yeah.
Listen, am I gonna make it?
That's the latest report. You're gonna make it, Vince.
That's good. How did it happen?
We goofed.
It don't feel good.
You want a pill? Vince, you want a pill? They said just to let him know if you wanted a pill for the pain.
Oh, the pain's okay. My feelings hurt. I always figured I'm not much else. I'm a good policeman. He didn't get my gun, did he?
No.
First thing I learned, hang on to your gun. They get your gun. They got no business giving it to you first place.
And they didn't get your gun, Vince.
No. My wife now?
Yeah, I talked to her. She wanted to come out, but I talked her out of it. I told you you'd be out of the hospital in a week, 10 days.
You think so?
Sure.
You... I only left her half a dozen signed checks.
Look, you don't have to worry about the money, Vince. The department takes care of all that.
Now I can tell her what's so special about Los Angeles. I got shot there. That don't happen every place, does it? Huh? You gotta get that guy, Adam. It's a blot. I got a clean record. I don't want a blot.
I'm gonna get him, Vince. Okay.
I don't want a blot.
There's a call for you from New York, sir.
Thanks.
You can take it right there.
Fine. Hello. Hello, this is Detective Flint. You have a call for me?
Adam?
Mike.
Tell me, how's Vince coming along?
Fine, I'm with him right now. He just came around a little while ago.
Good. How are you?
Me? Headache, that's all.
Frank's here. Would you like to talk with him?
Hi. I hear you ran into a door.
Hey, Franco. I don't know. That's what they tell me. I wasn't looking. I thought it was a ceiling dropped in on me.
Well, here's Mike.
Adam, I have some news for you. I just had about a 40-minute talk with our chief of detectives here, and then I phoned California. I'm leaving you out there on special duty. Officially, you're there to make a report comparing California police methods with those we use here in New York. Unofficially, you're going to be assigned to the man tracking down Franklin Nakwan. You've probably heard of him. He escaped from custody today.
Thanks, Mike.
Well, good luck, Adam.
His pulse is much stronger now. You look as if you feel a little better yourself.
Yeah, well, we both got a second chance.
Dust thou art, and into dust return. And thus perish thy mortal remains, until that part of thee only, which is immortal, shall pass on into the judgment of God Almighty.
Our Father which art in heaven, grant of peace. At last.
going to the staff meeting this afternoon, aren't you?
Aren't you?
No. I'm going to resign. I don't belong in an orphanage and a staff job.
We won't accept any resignation from you, Caldwell.
I'm going to find something in pure research. In a laboratory. If I make a mistake there, I can't hurt anything but machinery, an oscilloscope, or a white rat.
Well, it would have been convenient to find him here. But we wouldn't need police if the murders are going to make it convenient. Now, we'll find him. Wherever he goes, whatever he tries, he has to make a move on the face of the earth. So we'll find him.
Black sedan, four-door, 1956. Engine number 32567 ONVW. License number Larry Tom Unger, 835. Press, I just checked the bureau. That's the car.
Anything useful turn up out of it?
We're still checking it out down there.
Adam Flint, New York Police Department.
Glad to know you.
How do you do?
Ain't some of them good after all. Well, if he was hit, maybe that's how the car came over. Driving along up there, wounded, lost a bud. He faints, zoom. What do you think?
Well, from the angle of the way I was kneeling and the angle of the car at the time I fired, I don't see how any of those bullets could have hit Macon.
Can we get this car raised up so we can see where the bullets come out? Sure. Clear away. All right! Pull her up a little! Take her away!
If the bullets went in there and came out here, they couldn't possibly have hit Macon.
No?
I wonder why he abandoned a car up here.
Well, I can think of a half a dozen reasons. Concealment makes it tougher for us to spot it. Good place to steal another car. Maybe took one out of a garage of one of the houses around here.
It's also possibly he knew somebody in the area. He could hide that way.
And that guy that buried the other brother this morning.
Wyatt.
I was just trying to think who would know Macon well enough to know if he had any friends around here.
Should be easy enough to get his address.
Don't sweat.
could have had the fatted calf ready. Huh? I get a beautiful view from this tower. Saw the notice in the obituaries this morning. Was it a nice service, Caldwell?
I gave him a decent burial.
I came here to kill you. I told you 1,000 times there's nothing written on my face.
Why do you need to kill me?
So you won't give me a decent burial the way you did for Knox?
Close the door, Frank.
Let's leave it open. I don't want anyone to call the elevator away before I'm ready to use it.
Close the door, Frank. There are people living around here. Someone's going to have to come up 183 steps to close it. Now close the door.
No!
What did I do to you and your brother that it makes it impossible for you to forgive me? What terrible thing did I do to you boys?
How long were we in that orphanage, Caldwell? 15 years?
16, in a couple of months.
And you were there all the time?
That's right, I was there.
Taking care of us? Watching over us?
Yes.
Treating us like animals in an experiment?
That's not true, Franklin. I gave you love and understanding.
Caldwell, how do you think you'd like it? For 16 years and a couple of months, somebody always standing over you, watching you, knowing every mean, bad thing you ever did, and forgiving you for every one of them?
Is that a crime?
I saw you pull that cat's tail, Franklin. I saw you break that cellar window, Knox. Now, I know the nature of boys your age, but those are not nice things to do. Yeah, Franklin and Knox!
Did I ever punish you once? Did I ever touch you once? Did I ever touch you?
Kindness rained from the heavens.
I set you the best example I could.
You bet you did. And how could we equal that? How could we measure up to that, Caldwell? You were perfect. And this morning, you had to go and top yourself. This morning, you had to be the perfect Christian martyr and give my brother a decent funeral instead of carting him off to Potter's Field. You know why I'm gonna kill you, Caldwell? Because you never once gave me a chance to hate you.
Can't even ask you to forgive me, can I?
Now you just say it, and I'll blow your head off right now. You recognize that car? Does it belong to anybody living here?
Nothing ever happens for us the easy way, does it? I wonder if there's a way of walking up. Well, there must be.
Franklin?
Well, looks like we might ride after all.
Stop running.
Hello. This is Detective Flint. You have a call from me?
Hi. Yeah. Listen, am I lucky I caught you? I had to go through 4 different operators to get to you. Listen, I had to tell you something to tell Evie. Tell her not to forget to lock the door, will you? Tell her I want Nicky to write to me. Tell him I miss him, and I love him, and you give Nicky a kiss for me, and I'll kiss Evie myself when I get there.
All right. I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
There are 8 million stories in the naked city. This has been one of them.
This has been a Screen Gems film presentation from Columbia Pictures, produced by Herbert B. Leonard.